managed to crash the whole app with everyone in the space. Some of you already experienced this in this space where I was adding a
That
sync
is funny.
slider and it just went into an endless loop. So be aware if you're building spaces, you are pretty free to do almost everything, but you have to be cautious to not crash the whole app and yeah, result in a bad experience for anyone
Can I
in the
do
space.
that?
Oh yeah.
Because like I
If you're
came
building
close
a
to
space,
crashing a couple worlds in alt space. I'm so. Do you remember when I brought in that ring? Oh my
The ring?
gosh. The
What
ring that
ring?
turned the whole campfire red. Everybody in the campfire was
Oh
red.
my gosh. Yes, I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah,
I
sometimes
hope that
building
wing
can
is in a
be kind of
fire right now,
crazy.
right?
It's true.
It was hilarious. It
I
was
have to
supposed
be
to be
honest.
from like the Lord of the Rings ring, and I had it glowing. And I thought the ring was just gonna glow, but when you put it on, everybody turned red, and it was like the whole world was red. It was freaking hilarious. Maximus did not think it was very hilarious. Sorry, that was someone that
Really?
was.
Oh, that was great.
I don't know if y'all know who I'm talking about, but he did not think it was funny.
It is
But yeah.
surprisingly easy to crash a world if you
Oh,
don't
okay.
really know what you're doing. I've known people to download stuff from Sketchfab, which definitely wasn't
Uh,
optimized for VR, and bring it
yeah.
in and then wonder why they're getting like a frame rate of 3 or something like that. It's, yeah, it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Well, I take
okay,
3/0 any day.
Kalima, you on the right spot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I was just playing around. I went to the fashion show world, and I love the mirrors in the back. And will that space be allowed to be remixed, or could I get just the mirrors for a space of mine? Is that possible? I love the mirror
Um,
setup.
yeah, absolutely. So the mirrors are actually pretty simple. That's just a camera with a render texture and just a plane. So that's why it's also not 3D. Um, we're currently working on a new mirror that's real
Okay.
3D and also have different options, different quality settings, options to render only the avatars or with the environment you're in. Um, yeah, the main problem is all the different platforms. So when it's running
Mm-hmm.
perfectly on Android, on PC, it's something breaks. So that's why
Yeah.
that's currently not in here. But if you are building with AFRAME, actually there is a SQ mirror component you can add.
Okay.
This will just add exactly that setup. It's really just
Okay.
a plane with render texture to get a mirror into your space. Um, I think the Winterloft is using that, if I remember correctly. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
you can absolutely remix the
Which layer do you put that on? The camera.
Do it.
um the camera is mostly on the default layer. It only
Oh,
depends
sorry.
on what render layer you want to actually show on the camera. So for example, if you only want to display the avatars, actually I have to look this up. But I think it was about layer 13 to 16. So there are different parts of the avatar. So there's only the local avatar, there's the local avatar head, and then there is the remote avatar. So if you want just avatars, but all avatars, you have to make sure to add all those 3 layers. And yeah, I think we have that in the documentation, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, for now, really, I mean, we have it here on the website. There you have make a space, and then you have there. Let me quickly check where it actually was on the full documentation. Yeah, there's actually SDK examples with scenes on glitch, and there is also Is there a mirror? No, actually, there's no mirror. So this is really just a script. Yeah, there we have it. So everything you have to do is just add to your website an entity and then just SQ-mirror. That's really
Okay.
all for a
Okay.
basic mirror. If you want to do more advanced stuff, so if you're building your space in Unity, then yeah, you can do the basic setup as I mentioned already, but you can also so quickly ask in Discord if someone has a prefab for you, and I bet at least 3 people will throw quickly some Unity packages to you, which has a
Okay.
setup for some mirrors.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great because I eventually I'm going to bring my old dance studio in, and I've got to have a big mirror in front of the, dance studio so you can see what you're doing. But yeah, that's perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Yeah, mirrors, better mirrors will come, definitely.
Okay.
If we only had more programmers, then it would already be here. So, but the team is growing. There are, I hope I can say this, 2 more people starting soon. So a lot of features will be coming a lot quicker in future. Currently, it's just not enough people working on too many things at once, but everything will accelerate, and we hopefully will see a lot of more features. Okay, what else? Anyone likes pancakes?
Me? Oh yeah.
European pancakes, yeah, crepes.
Oh, you're making
Okay,
pancake
okay.
avatar
Yeah.
next?
Pancake lances.
Can we
So
divide
cute.
people into team pancake and team waffle?
What'd you say,
Where?
Faye?
Yeah,
Oh, waffles are
where's
pretty
the
good
line?
too.
I'm in.
Did you want to ask your question?
This
Okay,
is steamed
here in
I
this
pancakes.
don't.
segment,
My
everyone that likes
question's not
pancakes
about
and everyone
world
that likes
building, though.
waffles
It's
in
about
here.
avatars.
I'm in this
Yeah,
bit.
that's where you do it.
I'm pancakes till I
Oh,
die.
okay.
Pancakes,
Mhm.
pancakes, pancakes.
Mm.
We should have a
Okay,
Pancakes and waffles,
pancake waffle.
both please. Just
I
get on
think
them.
team pancake already won.
Yeah.
Yay!
So wait,
Oh,
does that mean we can have a pancake ponder?
A pancake
Pancake
ponder.
ponder.
Instead of
Yeah.
read waffle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it, Jump?
Oh, that sounds great.
Sorry.
Okay,
All right.
your question.
Yes. Okay. So, a couple of you know that I'm struggling right now with this avatar because, Fire Rat. I got it right. Oh. He. Sorry, I stumble on his name sometimes. He has helped me bring in my Alt Space avatar, which was supposed to be a surprise for Faye, but oh well, she knows now. Um,
Oh my god.
he has helped me bring in my avatar, but there's one issue with it as of right now, and he's gone to bed. So I appreciate everything he's done, but I do want to try to see if I can fix it before he wakes up and does it because I am determined. But it's it's aggravating right now. Right now, basically, my nose is in my eyeball because it moves along with my face, and it ends up in my eyeball. So, he says that he possibly has attached my nose to my toe, which I find very funny because my dad lost his toe yesterday. So I
Oh,
was
oh,
like,
oh, no.
maybe you were thinking of my dad.
Oh, no. Oh my gosh.
So I find that
I'm so
very
sorry.
funny. But yeah, so he said he'll fix it later, but I wanted to see if I can get some help or possibly fix it now. Whenever I highlight it and go into the help me out here, guys. What is the mode I gotta go into?
Weight painting?
Weight
Weight painting. There we go. Thank you, audience. Um, yeah. Whenever I go into weight painting and it's red, so the other parts are blue. Whenever I highlight them and go into weight painting, so I'm not sure why this one is red and how I need to get it to be on my face instead of my eye. So do you know how to fix that?
Yeah, so first off, you have to check which active vertex group you have selected in the properties. So for me, it sounds kind of like you are on the root bone, which should be the spine. So the nose is probably attached to the spine. And you have to attach it to the face, which you could actually do manually. For example, if you just select the mesh of the nose and then you get the current vertex group, and then there is a button called remove, I think, or is it delete? I always forget those kind of
I think
things.
it's remove.
Let me check.
Just a minus.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's called remove. So you remove the nose from the active vertex group, and then you just select the vertex group for the head, or yeah, maybe the head end, but not most of the time head is fine. And then you click on assign, which will completely assign the nose to the vertex group of the head. But if you don't
Okay.
wanna, if you're
I
struggling with it,
see the vertex group right now, and it's highlighted. I'm not sure if that's highlighted. It's not locked in, like the little thing's not locked, the little bolt thing or whatever.
no.
But it says right toe end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Then it's right as Fire Red said. It's assigned to the toe.
So do I delete that? You said.
No,
No.
not delete. You click on remove, but only when you have the vertices or the faces of your nose selected. Nothing else in edit
Yes.
mode.
Yes, that's what I have it in object mode. I have it selected, and it says that on there. Right toe end. Yeah.
Okay. Then click on remove, and then switch the vertex group to the head. So you just scroll down until you find the head. You select the head vertex group and then click on assign.
Okay. There is no remove button. Is what I'm. I
Okay,
don't
so
see no remove button.
then you're still in object mode. So you have to switch to edit mode. You do this by either pressing tab on the keyboard, or in the bottom left you have a drop-down menu where you can switch between object and edit mode.
Mm-hmm. I got it.
Okay. And now
Okay,
make
and then
sure to
remove, and then put it onto the head.
exactly.
All right. All right. All right. I think my question is done. I will do this and see if it works. Thank you.
You're welcome. If it's not working and you still need some help, directly after this event, we have the 3D waffle time where we are just talking 3D in general, and also we can do some screen share, and you can just send me that file or post it in the Discord, and then we can just do it live on a screen share to fix it.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, where's the next question?
Well, I have a question.
Okay. Wait,
So
let me
my
look up
question.
for you. I'm sliding. Okay, here
Okay.
you go.
So yesterday we had someone who didn't speak the language we did, and I was wondering if there are any plans to implement some sort of translation, because right now we don't have access to the microphone, so I wouldn't be able to build it directly. And Whisper supports translation to some extent, so I'm wondering if there's any upcoming features like that.
Yes, it's definitely on the backlog. But yeah, currently there are just the SDK, the menu, the avatar overhaul that's in front.
Okay.
But we already tested, so we actually have Whisper in some spaces. For example, if you visited the AI art gallery, you can
Yes.
just use Whisper to dictate the prompts for the AI images. And actually for the new menu, it is planned to have speech to text for the search and just everywhere. also for messaging system like this, and then also translation should be coming. Same for like speech bubbles. So for example, if you don't feel comfortable using your voice to talk, you could just use speech to text with a speech bubble. But this is really in a future update, which won't come in the next few months. So
Okay.
it's on
Yeah,
the backlog.
the
It will
cur-
come,
Okay.
just
Okay.
not very soon.
Okay. Yeah. These the current Whisper in the AI room, it does not support other languages. So yeah.
Yes. Currently, that's the pure speech to text model, but we
Okay.
already tested with directly translation models, which,
Okay.
yeah, it worked, but the main problem is just file size because those models can take up a lot of storage. And yeah, we don't have a dynamic downloading system yet for those models. So they were baked into the app, and no one likes to install an 800 megabyte update
Yeah.
just for
Okay.
an app
That
that
makes
doesn't have much in it. So that's the main reason it's not yet in here because of the file size. But yeah, it will definitely come, and it will be probably something optional you have to turn on in your settings, and then you have to download it while in the app.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh God,
Oops,
I've done.
slippery. Watch out.
Okay,
Oh,
there you
okay.
go.
Here you go.
Do you? Weird question. Do you think that this game will ever support in-game, like a more of a basic kind of in-game kind of space building? Because I understand you can import things from your computer, but do you ever think that an in-game space building thing will be optional?
There will definitely be some modular approach for. So I don't know. Where do you actually come from? Have you used AltSpace?
No. I just got recommended this game from Casper.
Oh, okay. So in AltSpace there was a tool called Chains Editor. It was made by the man who actually built Banter, from the CEO of SideQuest, and it was an in-game editor to create primitives. So you can create cubes, you can create capsules, cylinders, all those kind of things, and
Sorry.
then just place them and move them around as you want. And that's definitely also in the backlog, that something like this will come. The main argument against it is the performance, because it will never be as performant if you pre-create the space and optimize it with Unity directly, because all the optimization tools you have in Unity, like LODs, occlusion culling, all this kind of things, marking objects aesthetic, instancing geometry, all those kind of things are not really working when you're creating objects directly in VR. But for example, if we just have a modular approach, so you have like a kit, and there you have different objects in there, like a tree and I don't know, some
Yeah, that's what's kind of like saying,
different
like if you just had like a kind of basic selection of things, and like maybe some pre-made scripts and stuff like that, could you, would that kind of be a thing in the future that maybe other people that maybe don't have access to a computer and stuff will be able to make kind of like some basic kind of games for other people to play and stuff like that, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you kind of can already do this. So for example, with JavaScript, you can just use a kit bundle, and then you just have a selection of all the objects that were prepared, and then you can just grab them, they're getting duplicated, and you place them. The only problem with those is that they are only synced and will stay at a position as long as at least one person is in the space. As soon as no one is in the space, it's going, whoops, it's going to be resetted. But yeah.
All right, thank you. That's
It will come that there will be an option to save those kind of things in the future. I know that sounds like a lot of it's coming in the future, but yeah, currently SDK menu and avatar overhaul. That's what has priority, and then we can finally get into all the really nice fun
So good.
features. Pony, what do you have for me?
So, how's the SDK version 2 coming on? Do we have any more information on it? That's what I want to know. Nobody else dare ask the question. I'm asking it.
Okay, so one thing I would say about at 90%. So all the things are in place. I think everything of the old SDK is working. So backwards compatibility is there. There were some really tough ones like attachments, which resulted in a lot of trouble. Basic stuff like setting color on objects you created in AFRAME. But those things are now all solved. Everything is working. I'm already on the new client, so I can use everything as normal. So next week on, there will be extensive testing, and then fingers crossed for a release in a week after next
Soon.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Soon.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
Shane is really hard at work, and he was quite sometimes on the verge of insanity because he spent just 24 hours on it. But yeah, it's finally on a stage where it seems to be stable. There are still a little bit of hiccups that happen sometimes that has to be ironed out, but overall, it's already really good. And what you probably really like to hear, we got a really nice performance boost on the new SDK, and not just frame-wise, but also physics-based. So everything where you felt like especially when you walk and you slide down and it feels a little bit choppy, even though the frame rate is good.
My nose
This
is probably
now
in
a
my
lot
eyes still.
smoother, and it just feels amazing. Actually, every time I switch back to the current official build, I think like, what the fuck is wrong here? Something is seriously broken.
My
So
nose is running. Can you crouch?
that's something
Oh, I can't wait.
you should really be looking forward. It's really just a tiny side effect, but I am super excited when this goes live and everyone can use it.
I can't wait. Really
Yeah.
can't wait. Thank you.
Can you move your hands now?
Okay, Kurt.
Just
Oh,
Well,
Hi,
I have any megaphones.
I'm on
At the
PC.
at the AMA, Shane mentioned some surprise for Monday. I didn't know if you had any insight to that
Surprise? You asked me about the
announcement
surprise?
for Monday. I don't know.
No,
Maybe you would.
no,
He
I
said he
don't
wouldn't
know about
discuss it, but maybe you
anything.
could.
I haven't heard about any surprise.
I like
All right.
his nose running now.
Yeah, you said there was
You're
something
like,
big
well,
coming,
Shane's
wasn't there,
not
on
here
Monday?
now. How can I go? It's like going to mum when dad's not there and dad when mum's not there.
The surprise
Oh, you want me to go show
is
her?
Friday.
Okay.
It's Friday
Yeah.
event.
Look, her nose
Look
is
at
running.
me now. Look at me now.
Oh, there's a floating nose.
It's all over the place.
That nose.
Other than that, it looks
It's not a
okay.
bug.
It looks good.
It's a feature. It's not a bug.
Oh, my.
You got your
Oh,
nose.
It's definitely still attached to the
Oh.
Fool! Why did you take her
Okay.
nose?
There's a new
Oh,
game in
goodness.
town.
Yeah,
Love
I
it.
just unpainted from the feet. They're attached to the feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
attached
they're
to the
definitely
feet,
on the feet.
I might go at it again a little bit, but I don't know. I'm gonna rest for a minute because it's starting to aggravate me. I really
And
don't
after
like
that, when
to
painted
let
to the
things do
headband.
it.
Red.
Now, what you have to do,
If
you
not-
have to go through. You have to go through every vertex group and
Yeah.
see. So you can actually select the vertex group and then use your arrow down to switch through them. But make sure you are actually in the weight painting mode instead of the edit mode. And also you make sure.
That's what I
think
did,
you-
but I don't think I'm saving it right. Like I am like exporting it right, But it doesn't seem like it's working. I don't know. Like I said, I might try it again later. Maybe watch a couple videos or so. And if I can't figure it out, I'll just wait for him. He said he was going to help me with it, so I don't want to bother anyone else. Sorry.
No, you're not bothering. As I said, just in the following event, just throw the file into Discord and we can have a look at it together. Whee!
Good landing.
I don't have any questions. I kind of just want to.
Jump out.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, this is a nice little
Wrong?
world too. A lot of gray boxing and. Ooh.
Can you take a picture of me? I want to see where my nose is.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Did you make this
It's all
avatar?
over the place. It's like orbiting your head at one point.
It's right here.
Can I post it to event
I
snaps?
sent you a
You can
photo.
You can take this mirror here. Divine? Take this the camera here.
Oh, there's
'cause
a mirror?
selfie camera
Oh goodness,
in the
it's in
back.
front of my face.
Get the selfie camera from there and check it out for yourself. Oh, there we go.
Oh no!
Here,
Post processing.
go to
You're-
funny vids pics on Discord. I just uploaded it.
Oh wait.
Oh,
that's
my
a real
land.
I
thing.
don't know how to climb in this game, or this app. Oh,
I love
Oh,
that I
upstairs
siloed
anyway.
Discord onto my headset. That was a great idea.
So climbing. Actually, I'm not sure if this ladder has climbing. Oh, it actually has. You just grab, and then you put your hands on the top. You don't grab here. Just rest your hand palms on here.
hmm
Pull your legs up by pulling the right joystick down, and then you move
I
forward.
thought I did that. You know what it was? I was grabbing the top still. Like I was
Yeah,
grabbing
took
it.
me
And
a
I wasn't.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying. So you have to let go of the top and really just rest your palms on the ledge.
That
and
platform
then pull
has
yourself up.
object based, not even object based. Like the look at the texture. It's neat because it kind of like it's relative to the world somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a world space shader.
Oh. Okay, I see. That's a lot easier. Oh. Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out like this.
Whoops. Okay. Beepity boppity boopity beepity boppity. Any more questions? No one?
When's
Well, okay.
When's I have one actually. When is SDK2 coming out?
Wait. Let me make up
Tony
for you.
just asked that.
When
No.
where do babies come from?
You
SDK2
should ask your
babies?
parents.
It's the same
I
when a man
actually
and a woman
wasn't
love
sure if
each
that question
other.
was
Do I
asked.
need to explain it further?
The which one?
I can
The
explain
ass
it in the
question?
song.
Well, I think what was asked was what was the progress on SDK2, but not like when will it be released. So I think they are different questions. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, one kind of implies the other, so I kind of
Let's
figured
do
it was
within
already
a month.
asked. That's why I asked it. You know,
Yeah,
2
Yeah.
weeks. 2
not
weeks.
100%
Just 2 weeks.
2 weeks to a month
Oh,
from
2
now.
weeks.
The current date is soon.
Okay.
Sweet. The
Okay.
current date is
That's
soon. I
all
love
that
it.
I wanted
It's
to. Yeah, I
tomorrow.
think that answers that question.
Yeah, it's tomorrow, but what do I know?
Soon with the
It's a
TM
big
next
secret
to
for
it.
tomorrow.
Soon TM.
Let's get that one out there.
Valve
Will
soon.
we be able to
Spill all
have
the
virtual
secrets, Tony.
babies?
Don't spill all the secrets.
I do. Hi, I do actually have a question. My question is try to explain what the new SDK really means for people. We've been talking a lot about, oh, there's this, and they were like individual things. What is the update to the new SDK really going to do? Now, I know that you focused on being able to do things inside of Unity instead of having to code an A-frame. That is definitely a huge thing. Is that what is centric? That is the main focus? That's what I wanted to see if you would touch on.
I mean, that's for me personally the most important part. That's but that's just a tiny piece of it. So currently, the whole SDK strictly works with AFRAME, but with the new SDK, AFRAME is just one option. You can actually use any 3D scripting language you want, anything that's based on Tree.js and JavaScript in general. You can build your own, since the new Build script Shane created, it's just a wrapper. So it will communicate with all those different scripting systems, and it's completely up to you which one you are familiar with, which one you want to use. Everything will just communicate directly with Unity. And here we come to the beauty of the Unity part, that currently Unity spaces, so when you build a scene, can't really directly communicate with AFRAME. The only communication works with kit items. So separated prefabs you have to spawn with AFRAME, and then you can do JavaScript stuff on them. But with the new SDK, all those things will be directly available from Unity. So you can directly have JavaScript stuff in Unity, do all the scripting. You can do all the space state properties, for example, all the scoreboards in Slipstream. That was purely JavaScript, and AFRAME will be possible to do it directly in Unity, directly in the asset bundle. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The most fun part is going to be visual scripting. When you don't have to know any coding anymore, you can just plug in some nodes and see what's happening and how well it works. And that's my personal highlight, because I absolutely love visual scripting. So I'm gonna build
Visual
full games with
scripting
this
is
system.
pretty awesome. I just wanted to clarify. I mean, that almost clears things up, but I've also got mixed information. Or at least maybe I interpreted it wrong, but it would seem to be implied from Shane to me that a lot of the A-frame functionality will be removed. Is that like you seem
No.
to no? Okay. All right. Maybe just maybe when it doesn't interact with the Unity engine, or because I'm trying to kind of understand
No,
what was
so
meant by that.
the only thing that's removed is the requirement for AFRAME. Currently, AFRAME is absolutely required for even just an empty space that has no
Okay.
functionality in it. It's just a Unity asset, but AFRAME is needed to load the space. And
Okay,
this
maybe I
will
misinterpreted
go.
something then. That's awesome because I like
No.
that. I like the option to do either or.
Yeah, also, I mean, it won't land with the new SDK directly. It will come a little bit later, but all the hassle you have to do by going to Glitch, creating a website, a domain, and all those stuff, uploading your asset bundle, that will also be gone, because the asset bundle builder will get an uploader directly integrated, and also you will get a domain directly from SideQuest. It's going to call it Band. Band dot.
Ing.
Gosh, now I totally forgot the domain.
Band.ing.
Bunting. Yes, thank you.
Band.ing.
So
Yep.
it's going to be band.ing, and then you can just have after this the name of your space, and it will automatically upload, set up everything for you. Yeah, it's simply going to be a lot more streamlined and easier, especially for people that just want to create spaces and don't want to care about some scripting or some HTML code.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, that answered my question. It was about Bruce.
Okay, Iron Wolf.
Yes, hello, Ling. Is the Banter platform going to get an update as well for the SDK when it gets released?
What do you mean with platform? Like the client, the app?
Banter application is going to get an update with the
Menu and
SDK as
stuff?
well?
Yes, absolutely. That's absolutely necessary, since so many things completely changed. The complete loading screen was done from scratch for the SDK. The portals are completely new. So all the SDK stuff requires an update. So that's nothing that's running on the server. It's all inside of your application that's going to be updated.
Yes, so thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. I see a
Can barely
lot
wait
of
till tomorrow.
SDK questions.
Or tweet.
Everyone
Yes.
getting excited.
Yes.
Probably
when are we getting the
I'm most
update?
excited.
Sorry.
Wait.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm kind of
you're on
curious
microphone.
around. Sorry. Oh, right.
You're on
I'm
microphone
curious
now.
about the kind of tech behind how Unity interacts with AFRAME and HTML and JavaScript. I'm just generally curious the sort of programming hell that must have been, and like all that. I don't know. That interests me. I kind of want to know more about the back end of that.
Okay, so that's something I can't answer with 100% confidence. All I know is that everything is based on Electron. So Electron is this browser engine.
Yes.
Most browsers are built on, for example, the SideQuest application you can install for Windows is also just a fancy browser with a mustache that's also based on Electron. So that's actually what's running in the background. That's handling all
Interesting.
space loading, all the connection with JavaScript and all those things. That's just a layer in between that just tells JavaScript what happens in Unity land and Unity land what happens in JavaScript, which
Yeah, I read a
currently
bit
is
about
just
Electron, but I didn't think it was capable of that. That's interesting. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the current version is just one directional. So currently only Unity can know what happens in JavaScript land, but JavaScript doesn't know what happens in Unity land. Or the other way around. I'm getting confused myself.
No. I understand. I think I got it. Yeah.
But yeah, main benefit is that new SDK both know from each other, communicate with
Yeah,
each
they
other.
communicate
Currently
well. They make
only one.
they make abstract babies and yeah. I don't know. Anyways, that was yeah. That's about it.
Okay. Who else has a question or a hot take? Tokra, what's your current hot take?
Oh, wow. Where do I... on what topic exactly? SDK 2.0, UI overhaul things? I don't know.
Any
Ready Player
topic.
Me.
Any topic.
Avatars.
Yeah, it's my hot. I mean, I would think that it. I mean, I also have a question. Like, if it comes to that, I just have a question about something. Can Banter be able to run like on the browser itself?
Ooh, that would be interesting.
I mean, theoretically, yes, but only with WebGL. So there's still the Unity component that's required for all the avatars, for the menu, the UI, the spaces, everything. So if you want a pure web-based version, maybe for voice, but it's going to be pretty difficult and not really feasible. But WebGL definitely could work, but I don't know. Have you used some applications that are from Unity built for WebGL? The main problem is
Not really.
performance is pretty crappy, quality is absolutely garbage, and the loading times you can get a degree while a simple scene is loading. So I don't
Especially
know.
handling
And maybe
multiple
if
players.
yes,
I
so
imagine.
maybe if you want to try spatial, they have their whole PC system client is only web-based. So they're using Unity WebGL. So and they already do this really well. So that's actually the best WebGL I have seen from Unity on a bigger scale. But even this, the difference in quality and loading times and performance is just so huge to just build an application, for example, now for the Quest or for PC or for Android in general, that's just like not much of a benefit for using WebGL in the browser, especially with a lot of restrictions. So a lot of stuff just don't works in WebGL. Video playback, for example, is really annoying to get to work in WebGL. It's way more limited and restricted than, for example, Android is.
Yeah, I would have assumed that performance would not be that good, but I was just thinking about how difficult it is to port it, or if like it's way complicated to just make it work, or it's just a thing about because for example, if you have a good MacBook, right, and if you have a browser there, it doesn't really matter because you probably already have a lot of power to work with to support, even if it's not performant, but still you'll still be able to use it somehow. But yeah, I saw some applications that are actually made on. If you go to the Quest, open the browser, and there's like a lot of VR use cases there that just run out of the browser on the Quest itself without installing anything. That's why I was so curious about that. What does
Oh
that
yeah,
imply, and how
yeah. So
that works, and what framework it is?
that's actually WebXR, and as far as I know, that's all based on Tree.js. So that's all native JavaScript. But if you want to bring all the Unity stuff into the browser, you need WebGL, and WebGL is just a bitch.
Oh, okay, so
Just really
Unity
annoying to
is
work.
the thing that's hard to bring and have performance.
Yes. So if you can port everything directly to WebXR, that would be absolutely best case scenario, and I'm pretty sure everything would run perfectly. But stuff like light baking, you can't have this in WebXR directly. You need real-time lighting for this kind of things, or you have to pre-bake everything into the main textures. But yeah, just have a Unity scene to load in. That's just not possible with WebXR.
Oh, I have another question, if it's possible. What would you think, considering everything that you have at disposal right now, SDK 2.0, everything that you can do, what is the best way to bring an object live instantly in the world from outside a mesh? What is like the fastest way or best way to do that so other people could instantly see without actually reloading the world?
Yeah, so that's current SDK, definitely with JavaScript and AFRAME. In the new SDK, we actually finally have a function to instantiate objects. So you can just create an object based off a prefab, for example. So that should be the most easiest way, which should be just a one-line command, or with visual scripting, just a single node, which you can call. But you still need all the other setup. So if you do everything with JavaScript, you have to add the network synced object component. You have to add the colliders, the rigid bodies, those kind of things to make it actually interactable. Unless if you have already everything set up on the prefab, then this should be working too. But yeah, the thing is, it has to be prepared. It has to be already in the code. So it has to be there has to be a button in the space that is hooked up to this function to instantiate the geometry you defined beforehand. Unfortunately, it's not just drag and drop a GLB into it, and it will directly upload and be available as a network synced object. But
Okay, so I assume. Oh, okay.
but Ready Player Me is actually working on a system like this to have not just, how did they call it? It was not called accessories. I think it was called something like gear, where you can just have, instead of avatars, just objects, which still have the limitation. So you still have to upload them over their portal, and you can't go over a triangle count which is absolutely necessary because that's a huge problem, I think, on platforms like Spatial, where you can just upload any object you want, or you can just import any Sketchfab model, that people just throw in some 10 million triangle scanned object and just crash the world for everyone. That's just
Will
a huge
those
concern.
Yeah.
sorry, I just wanted to build upon that. Will those objects, as far as you know, have functionality that you can program?
In the new SDK, yes. In the current, unfortunately not. In the
Okay.
current
I just what you
SDK,
were talking about with Ready Player One, or me, sorry. I do have one question in regards to the JavaScript side. Are there any libraries that are kind of like blacklisted that probably wouldn't work with Unity?
not
Unity
in the
and
sense,
AFRAME, rather. Sorry.
since all the JavaScript stuff is just running in Electron, everything should work. If something is not working, then please post in the Discord and tell us that it's not working.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
So as a
Iron Dwarf.
conclusion, the other way, like the only way to make it work right now, sorry, I'm gonna finish. It's like reloading a bundle, re-uploading the bundle, reloading it, and make it automatically. Make that
Yeah.
process automatically. Because what I'm thinking is just AI generated content and adding AI generated content on the fly. That was
Yeah.
the context of.
Yeah, I mean, AI generated 3D content is definitely interesting, but main problem is it's way too high resolution from the mesh. It's just not optimized enough. It can work for
And it's
one or two
decimating and stuff.
objects. Yeah, it
Yeah.
just needs some optimization.
And
So
manual work, yeah.
yeah, you're better off just generating the models, downloading it, optimizing it, and then uploading it as a
Decimate the poop
GLB.
out of it, yo.
I would
Gonna
just
decimate that shit.
I just thought of AI generated images extruded afterwards. Simple things like that. Not
Oh,
very
that would be
complicated
cool.
shapes
Yeah, I
and
think they have that in Blender, no? Where you can, while you're modeling, there's got to be some kind of AI plugin where it's like extrude this and that and the other thing.
yeah, I mean you can set up a model to do this automatically, yeah. But the importing was my yeah. Yeah, sorry, I didn't have a hot take, I just had questions.
That's perfectly fine. Thank you.
Oh,
Okay.
is that an updated the back? We probably already addressed this, but the Banter SDK documentation has it been updated? Because I don't remember seeing the
No,
crystal-y.
that logo is just random generated. It will switch. It should be for
Oh,
everyone differently.
cool.
Elaine,
Okay.
the Android mobile Banter, is it? Do you have any information about that one?
Not
They need
yet.
to do a menu. They still have to make a
It's in the
menu for it,
backlog,
right?
but it all dependent until the menu is ready. So menu has
Okay.
to be done first, and then actually first after the menu is the avatar overhaul.
Okay.
So finally higher resolution avatars for everyone close to you, better LODs. No more everyone is staring at you when they switch into 2D cardboards. And then I think yeah, more platforms are on the plan. But yeah, first we need a solid foundation to build upon that we can extend. First we have to make especially the VR aspect perfect, and then we can reach out to more platforms. But
Okay.
it's
Thank you.
definitely on the list and it will come.
Yeah.
Okay,
1
Klaus,
minute
you're on
to
my
3D
megaphone.
waffle time, just to let you know. 1
Oh,
minute
awesome.
to 3D
Thank
waffle.
you.
It's me again. Small question.
Yay.
Is there a
Okay.
way? Do we have a random function in the SDK? I want a random number.
In Unity or in
Yes.
JavaScript? No.
In Unity.
No. No,
Okay, I'll
unfortunately
work
not.
around that. I'll work
I also
around that.
want a function for random colors.
Yeah.
currently,
Yeah, I have a plan to simulate random, but it's still well, yeah.
what does work in the Unity end that is C# and whatnot? Because I did notice that a lot of the code is written in just pure mono behavior and C#. So, like, are there any functions kind of built in C# and mono behavior functions that kind of work already and we just don't know it, or how like what? Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a set of scripts that are just a band-aid to add some functionality for now into the Unity SDK. So we have
Oh.
stuff like simple trigger events. So you just have a script that's called trigger event, and you can just trigger a Unity event when someone enters a trigger, someone leaves a trigger. You can filter between is it the body? Is it the head? Is it the feet? Is it the local avatar? Is it the remote avatar? Is it both of them? You can also filter between more tags. So for example, you can use the respawn and the finish tag. Those are Unity default tags. For example, if you want to trigger something when an object enters a trigger, then you can, for example, use those tags. And also you have the option to make it synced, so that if someone enters, it's the event gets synced to everyone. And also you can enable admin only, which will lock the syncing only to the moderator or the admin. So if you are the maker of a space, then that's your space. You are the admin, and all the synced functionality you added with the trigger event will only be synced when you enter something.
Okay.
You have the same
But
for player trigger events. So, for example,
with that
grabbing,
being
releasing.
with that being said, if we wanted to, could we write our own C# code, provided that it has those functionalities?
Unfortunately not. So the
Okay. All right.
SDK works that it's actually just grabbing the names of the script. So if you already changed the name of the scripts, it won't work anymore. And if you change the script, it won't change the functionalities. And the original script with the matching name
Mhm.
is in the main project, is in the build from the
I see what you mean.
client.
Okay.
But yeah, so best is you really just download the Unity SDK and just look
No,
through
yeah, no, I
the
had it. I just
folder.
I was wondering, but like I was looking through the code, like I said, and I was just wondering based on a lot of the code, a lot of the scripts being in C# mono behavior. I was just wondering exactly. But I think I kind of understand now. It's more of a band-aid you mentioned, so that kind of just basic functionality working, I guess, for on the
Yeah,
Unity
but
end. Yeah.
I
with
also had a
visual
hot take about
scripting,
this.
yeah. Okay, one last hot take, and then we should jump over to the
You should
actually.
definitely have a pull request for adding scripts that can be approved later on by the team in case someone really wants to add like a functionality.
I don't think that's
And
necessary anymore. As soon as we get visual scripting, you can do all the functionality. I mean, there will definitely some things be locked out. Functions that really, yeah, that could hook into the main system and just break everything for people. For
yeah,
example, web requests is something that could be used maliciously. That would be something that's probably going to be blocked. But I would say from all the options, from all the functions you can use in Unity in general, you have about 90%. I made a list and I think it was about 16,000 nodes that will be available on start.
Wow.
That means 16,000 functions
oh,
you can directly
okay.
use. So
Not only
So
that,
if
I'm
you
pretty
really,
sure on the JavaScript and A-frame side, you could do most anything, maybe, possibly. I don't quote me on that, but
yeah,
that's kind of the impression I've gotten.
yes,
I'm also
absolutely. So
curious if those nodes are, how do you use those nodes? Can you use them in C# or is just a visual scripting and you were just locked using this visual scripting?
it's locked to visual scripting. So yeah,
Okay.
that's the full
I'm
Unity
very,
visual
very curious
scripting
about that.
system they acquired.
I'm all for it, provided that it runs
Nice.
well, just as much as you know,
Well, that seems like a
hypothetically
lot of power
normal
added
scripting.
in the new
Yeah.
SDK. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Portal time.
then
Portal.
let's jump over.
Ooh.
And I'm switching from 2D to 3D. Other way around.